This is the Good Neighbor Podcast, the place where local businesses and neighbors come together. Here's your host, Sean Preston.
Welcome to today's episode of the Good Neighbors Podcast. Today we have a wonderful neighbor with us. Her name is Nalini Prashad from the Bloom Bistro here in Barrie. How are you, dear?
Perfect. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well, thanks. Lovely sunshine happening where you're at.
Yes, it is. It's gorgeous. Absolutely stunning. I love the sun.
Very nice. Me as well. I'm a big sun fanatic and happy to see it out there. Just makes your day that much more motivating, more happy, eh?
It sure does. It's beam of sunshine and it just warms and fill you up.
So speaking of warming and filling you up, you do that through food. Why don't you tell the listeners about your business?
Yes, I do. I do that through my food. I'm a huge foodie. People don't believe me when I tell them that, but I am. So I'm the owner of Bloom Bistro. And I created Bloom Bistro because of some health challenges I've had in my life. And food has healed me extremely. So I've always wanted a restaurant. Never really thought of the concept. I thought, you know what? Somebody needs to bring love back into life. Things. And so I thought I would do that. And I wanted to do it for many, many years since my children were small, but never had the opportunity until now. And I thought to myself, if I don't do it now, I will never do it. But I was extremely not well also. So I changed the entire concept to healthy eating, food that will heal you. Stay away from things like preservatives and any additives. And so at Bloom, we cooked with natural ingredients. It's a menu that I've created. I've gone over 1 million times just to make sure we have all the things that we've needed to put out a menu that's healthy and clean. And so it's still a work in progress. It's not over. Like, we're opening for dinner soon in a week. So it's a work in progress. Even the breakfast menu, we're constantly going, maybe we could add something, take something, just to make sure everybody's happy. We listen to our customers, what they want, what they need, and we work with that. And
very nice.
So this is where Bloom came from. It came from because, I have to go out every time and take my own sugar, my own milk. Like, it was just tiring that you go to so many places and you have so many allergies and people are not accommodating. And then they get upset just because you can't have something. And I don't want anybody to feel like that at Bloom. I want people to come in and be like, I want this. And I'm able to give it to you because I understand. I understand your journey and your pain and how you feel. I know what it's like. And so I'm extremely happy to do that for everyone and modify anything to make sure people are eating healthy, they're happy, and they love being where they are.
Very nice. And so for those who are listening, it's nice to know about what you're doing to accommodate people with different food allergies, different food needs. What can people expect who have maybe never ventured into your restaurant for the first time?
So coming in, we definitely have a warm, inviting space, and we love that. Our menu is very different, and I hear it all the time. It's a beautiful menu. It has something for everyone. So if you're a vegetarian, we have vegetarian. If you want vegan, we have vegan. Like, we could make beautiful vegan omelets. We could do eggs benny. So many people have stopped eating eggs benny just because they couldn't have the sauce because of all the dairy and plus the eggs. Now we can have a gluten-free, dairy-free eggs benny that is completely vegan. So
that's phenomenal. I've had your eggs benny as well too. I was so surprised when I left the restaurant. Usually when you have that, because of the dairy, you feel, and the bread, right, that you feel so bloated. I felt like an Energizer bunny when I walked out. It was phenomenal.
And that's what I want. I want people to feel healthy and not bloated and just feel like they're ready to conquer the world. That's it. That's how you should feel.
Yeah, it's definitely something that still needs to be more well known out there education that, you know, people should be eating for fuel, not eating for the sake of eating.
Yes.
And definitely the food that you provide at your restaurant, I can attest.
Thank
It's not only delicious, but you're fueling your body and giving it healthy, nutritious things that it needs to go through the day.
Absolutely. You need to fuel, but you also need flavor. And at Bloom, you could come in, you could feel good about what you eat, and you have flavor. You're it's bursting with flavor of different kinds, different herbs, spices, and it's just amazing.
So tell the listeners about your journey, how and why, you know, you mentioned a little bit before, but maybe break down some of those barriers on why you decided because of those health concerns that you had to get into doing it.
So I was about, I think, 10 years old when I was diagnosed with um, fibromyalgia. And well, I wasn't fully diagnosed back then. We knew something was wrong. It wasn't until I was 16 years old they discovered I had fibromyalgia and rheumatoid arthritis. They told me within 5 years I would be in a wheelchair. I won't be able to walk much. And this is the Arthritis Society of Canada. And that's what they said to me. And I thought to myself, I can't live my life like this. I have three little children. How am I going to provide for them? How am I going to take care of them? How am I going to be a wife to my husband if I'm bound to a wheelchair? And so it was hard. It was very depressing. I would find myself laying in bed, eating something like pizza on a Friday, not knowing at the time that it wasn't good for you. I would pick my kids up on every Friday. I won't cook dinner because I couldn't. I struggled to get through my week, to get them to school, to do anything. I struggled. I could barely walk. And little by little, I start doing research on different things. And somebody introduced a product to me that helped me a great deal. And if anybody knows me, my faith is very strong. That gets me through everything in my life. But it led me to natural, clean food. Like everybody would say, oh, you know what? You could change and you could eat this bread, and this bread is good for you. But nobody read what's actually inside of it. It's not just flour and water and salt and yeast. No, it's it's loaded with everything you could find to keep that bread on the shelf for 2 weeks. And so I started doing research, changing everything I eat, eating whole foods, clean food, staying away from certain oils because oil and sugar will kill you. And I have always been allergic to dairy. And a lot of people are not, but I can't have it. And even people who are not allergic, I find you get very sick from eating dairy. So I've created a menu at Bloom that you can have things that are dairy free, gluten free. And by me eating this way, it changed my life. And from having someone tell me, you will not be able to walk in 5 years, to running 10Ks, 15K. And I was like, I'm running? I'm not even walking anymore at this point. I'm running, you know? And I've developed a love for running. And now I run, I work out, I dance. They said you'll never be able to wear a pair of heels again. And I dabble in my heels and all my events in Barrie, and I love it. I love it. I got my life back because of food. I really did.
Phenomenal story. Love your journey. Love the
Thank
message. Are there any myths or misconceptions that you come across from people when they come into the restaurant?
You know what? You're gonna have that everywhere, every day, and people will say things, but you have to listen, take it all in with consideration, and if there's space to work on that, you work on it. And sometimes you just gotta let it be. You just gotta listen and let it be because there's always gonna be a misconception of some sort. So I just deal with it if I need to, and if I don't need to, then I just let it be.
Yeah, I think, you know, people have, and in the past 7, 10 years, more so 5, really started to pay close attention to
Mhm.
what's on the back of the labels. You know,
Mhm.
the middle of the grocery store tends to be more dangerous than the outside, right? With the produce.
Yes.
And you see people when you're grocery shopping, you see them more stopping to check and look at the back. But these food companies, you know, they don't really have a care in the world. They're out there to make a buck. and
Yep.
they hide all kinds of stuff. It'll say 0 sugar, but you look in there and it'll say cane sugar in it. And well, how much is in there? Because they have a minimal amount or a maximum amount that they need to have in there before they actually have to change that 0 sugar, to start giving it to you in grams and stuff like that. And it blows my mind. And it's sometimes I think some people kind of turn a blind eye to it, but it's all about being educated, in my opinion, on what's good, what's not good. Like you said, certain oils are not good. Sugar's bad. What oils should people kind of stay away from?
So
Canola.
what I use personally and what I found are the best oils to use if you're going to use oil. Oils are not always the greatest things, but I stick to olive oil, grapeseed oil. Those are my favorite, and I don't stray from these. Avocado, olive, grapeseed are my favorites, and they have healthy fats. They're good for you. Coconut oil is really good too. I find you just have to be careful, but coconut oil is a good thing. But just stick to the good oils, the avocado, the grapeseed, the olive, cold press. Make sure it's not mixed with any other oils. Make sure it's clean. Know where it's coming from, where it's sourced. It's a big difference because they'll say it's pure, but then you read it and it's mixed with canola oil or something else, right?
Yeah.
Always pay attention to those things. So at Bloom, we have, if somebody say to me, can you make my home fries on the grill, or can you make it with just canola oil, another oil apart from canola oil or vegetable oil? Vegetable oil is dangerous, extremely dangerous. I don't use any vegetable oil at Bloom. And so, yes, I said to them, yes, of course I can. You know, it's better to use pure butter than to use all these oils that are not good for you.
Yeah,
It's so
margarine's got canola oil in it, doesn't it?
you don't want to use margarine. It's just use butter if you're going to use something. Margarine is not good for you. And like you said, they put it out there. They have a certain minimum that they could put. I just read a label the other day. I was going to eat something, and it says 0 grams of sugar. But then I read the ingredients and it says cane sugar.
Yeah.
And I'm like, imagine somebody that's diabetic. That's misleading because you could make that person very ill.
Totally.
Right? That's not right for them to do that. If you say there's 0 grams of sugar, then the ingredient content should be 0 gram. You shouldn't read that label and has sugar cane in there. That's pure form of sugar.
Well, we can definitely see the passion exuding out of you.
I am huge advocate for people's health, what goes in their body, and I read every day and I get educated every single day about food, what should be it, and I pretty much make everything at home. I try not to buy things from the grocery store because the moment I pick it up and that label has a million ingredients, I'm done. I put it right back down. I'm like, you're not going inside me. Like, absolutely not. I will not buy a box of milk from the shelf. Why is milk sitting on the shelf? No, absolutely not. I will not consume that. It's not okay. And canned meats that travel around the world and cheeses? No, no. I cannot. I just can't.
So, some exciting news. You're opening up for supper,
Yes, we
for
are.
dinner.
I'm so excited. It's going to be a Caribbean fusion.
Oh,
So, yes, we're going to add some elevation to our Caribbean food and bring it to Barrie, and hopefully everybody enjoys it.
nice. I'll have to stop by before then and take a sneak peek at that menu. That gets me going.
Yeah, you will have a sneak peek. Don't you worry. You'll
Beautiful.
have to.
Okay. So, well, when you're not cooking food and putting your passion into that, when you're in your private life, what do you like to do for fun?
So, my favorite thing is to hang with my babies and my family. That's my absolute favorite thing to do. So, every chance I get, I spend time with my family. Outside of that, I am a spa goer and I go to different places, try different spas, and show people the benefits, teach them what it's like to take care of your body that way. And I go out and try different restaurants, check out food menus, what it's like, and what goes into their food, what makes them them. And so, spas and food. And actively, I love badminton. I love dancing. So those are all things that I do. I have a few amazing friends. You and Julie are one of those people. And I have a few girls I hang with in Barrie, and we go out and just do different things. But a lot of times I just go and take care of me by doing the spas, trying foods, see what I can bring to Barrie, see what I can bring to Bloom. I'm always out there looking for something more and something better because I believe that we could do more for Barrie, right? It's our city, and whatever we could do to make it better, why not? So that's what I do in my spare time.
Very cool. So you mentioned badminton. Do you play year round, or do you only play, like outside in the summertime?
Outside in the summertime. Yes. I run almost all year round. Like January and February, I don't run as much because it's extremely cold.
Yeah.
So I do a lot of walking, power walking, stuff like that. I start running already because February was amazing here. So that's badminton is just more for fun. I run for my health and because it clears my mind. But badminton is just silly fun. Just badminton and tennis. I love tennis. Oh my goodness. I love tennis. People laugh at me all the time because they're like, "You make so much noises." I'm like, it's hard to hit that thing, guys. You understand? Like
You rocking a headband when you play tennis or what?
sometimes because my hair
Yeah.
gets, yeah, rocking skirts and the running shoes. Those are the best.
Nice. I started running. I run, but I only do 5K, and I prefer to trail run. And
Yeah,
like you, in the winter time, I'm too much of a suck. It's too cold. Even from the motivational standpoint, it's like, like today, sun's out, but it's super cold. I'm not getting out there, but it's going to be 12 degrees middle of the week. Once that snow goes away, for sure, I'm going to take
exactly.
advantage of getting out there and running. And like you, it clears my mind and a chance for me. I'm going to start listening to podcasts and that self-educational kind of thing. It's one of the only times in my busy life that I can actually set aside to listen to
Yeah,
that, even when we're listening to our own show.
yes.
As we do that from time to time, Jeff and I will be when we're doing some running. So very, very fun stuff.
So good. You have to clear your mind because if you don't, how are you going to focus and function?
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but the wind kills me. Sometimes I don't mind the cold as much. I'll go out for a power walk, even in the cold. But that wind, it cuts you up.
Yeah, it does. I remember a few years ago I was on a run, and where I live at the top of the hill, it's windy up here,
Yes,
and I took a run out to the back corner, and there's a farmer's field. It's a good loop. I can loop around the farmer's field and come back, but there's a stretch where I have to hit like an 80 zone where the cars are, and it's only farmers fields there. So like there's nothing to stop the wind, and I had the wind at my back the whole time, and I was moving and grooving. I was going pretty until I came back, and then when I was coming back, I felt like I was running into a wall. It was brutal.
I know how you do that. I could not. Like, if that's your back, it's one thing. But when I have to come back and face that in my face, like, I'm like, no. Power to you that you could do that because I would just be like, nope, I'm going to break down right here.
Yeah,
Like,
I was dying on the way back. We made her through, but I had Jax with me, my dog with me, so we had there was no stopping. We were going to keep going, and we managed to make it back together. So
you had good company. I can't have animals because I'm allergic.
yeah, that's unfortunate.
It is very unfortunate. I love them still. But I just can't have them in my home because they will kill me, literally.
Yeah,
So
we don't want that. We don't want that. We want to keep enjoying that delicious food that you make. What's one thing that you wish the listeners knew about your business?
yeah, I'm sorry.
What's one thing that you wish our listeners knew about your business?
Um, I would say I wish they would know what it's like to come in there and just the day what goes on to get what's out there on their plate. I wish they would understand what it took to put that out. Because some people just don't get it. They just don't understand how much it takes to put that out there. They get the food, the service, they get all of that, but they don't understand what it actually takes sometimes to get all of that there.
What would be like one or two things that you would maybe like to say about that people maybe should know? Maybe it's definitely an educational thing. And I think we could use this platform to maybe mention a couple of things that they should take into consideration. And I think that affects a lot of things. It affects Google reviews. It affects tips. It affects a lot of different things, because if they have a misconception in their mind or they don't understand, if they do understand, I think that goes a long way.
So we opened in the pandemic pretty much, right? Everything changed, like completely changed. And I'm crazy enough to say I'm going to do this anyways because it's my dream. So I think some of the things that people don't understand, that we're coming out of a pandemic and it's still there, but like they're always on you. They're upset. People don't want to work anymore. They come in, they work for a few days, they leave. And it's hard to have that flow of staff and workers, and even the people that work sometimes they just don't understand, and sometimes they just need time to settle into the role, and I just want to ask you to just be a little bit patient, not just with me but with other restaurants and other places, because it's hard for us, it's hard for the staff, it's hard for especially kitchen staff. It's extremely hard for them. And so just be patient with us, because it takes a lot for us to get so much in a short little time. And it's not a lack that we don't want to hire people, because sometimes there are just not enough people that want to be in that industry, especially the kitchen. It's just so hard now to find kitchen staff. So hard. Front staff, it's great. Front staff is great, but it's extremely hard for us to find kitchen staff. And that's why I'm a lot in my kitchen, right?
Right.
Yes, like I have an amazing girl right now, but she leaves at the end of the month. She's going on mat leave, and I'm hoping soon she'll be back. But and my cook that I have now, he's amazing. He's great, but there's only so much that one or two people can do. You need more. So yeah, so just be patient with us. We're getting there. We're working. We're doing our best. We love our customers, and our favorite thing is to make you happy. It is, especially me. My favorite thing is that people walk out of there and they're extremely happy. I love to see a smile. I love when they say your food is amazing. Thank you so much. Your service was good. I want that. I need that, because I do this for them to be happy, right? I don't want people to be upset. I don't want, if you don't like something, tell us about it. We will fix it. We will change it right there for you. If you have concerns, feel free to address it. If you have ideas, run it by us. We don't mind. I don't mind at all. Just let us know so we can fix it. Because if you don't let us know, how are we going to know? If you don't tell us while you're there something is wrong, how are we going to know, right? Just be open with us. Be honest with us. Let us know how you feel and give us a chance to make it better for you, because that's what we're there for.
And if you're going to take anything away from this episode, it's going to be how much the business owner cares about the food that she's putting out there and the people who come into her restaurant. Thank you for doing this. If anybody's interested and want to come and check you out, what's the best way that they should reach out to you?
They could call the restaurant, 705-721-1555, or you could check us out on Instagram, Bloom Bistro Berry. Everything is posted there. Our menu, our food, everything is on there.
Beautiful. Awesome time. That was a fun conversation. Thanks a lot for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me. This was great. I love it. Thank you so much.
No worries. Anytime.
Have a great day. Enjoy some sunshine.
Thanks. You too.
Take care.
Thank you for listening to the Good Neighbor Podcast Midhurst. To nominate your favorite local businesses to be featured on the show, go to gnpmidhurst.com. That's gnpmidhurst.com, or call 705-413-3775.